Hi, welcome back to Zack of All Trades. I'm Zack, and I'm here with the long-awaited, much-anticipated status update on my $500 shed. Given the fact that my shed is about 1,000 miles away from where I currently live, I had to send an elite, highly specialized camera crew on location to go trudge through the wilderness to get some footage of this shed, just to see if it was still standing. No, I wasn't able to go along. Man, it's hot in my garage. Whew, that's better. Now about this update. I'm a pretty thick-skinned individual, and I have a pretty high level of confidence in the things that I build, the things that I fix, or what have you. Sometimes they fail, but most often they don't. After the comment storm that happened, when those few videos got some attention, I found myself kind of scratching my head and wondering, man, is that thing going to stay standing? Now, for those of you who are about to jump in and say, hey, don't worry about the naysayers, thank you for that sentiment. I really appreciate that. And those of you who left that very thing in the comments was very helpful to me. But that's not what this is about. There were, in the comments of those videos, an immense amount of good information. A lot of people with a lot bigger brains than me came in and said, hey, this is going to be a problem because of this thing, or you should have used a different material because of that thing. And it was genuinely well-intentioned, well-thought-out, good information. That was what really made me think, man, I really hope this thing's still standing. So with the expedition funded, the crew hired, I sent them off to go find some information. And here's what I found. First and foremost, I discovered that it is, in fact, still standing. Well, let's stop right here. I want to talk about a couple of things that I did that I wasn't able to film that have since been suggested dozens and dozens of times in the comments. First off, take a look back here and up here. Those are cross braces that I put in to help stabilize the structure. You'll also notice a total of 5 horizontal braces installed up top. Those do a few different things. They tie the whole structure together to aid in stability. They also, through doing that, take some of the strain off of my single-sided gussets up top. And lastly, well, they give me a place to store some of my junk up there. Another thing you can see from this vantage point is the fact that the back end is in fact closed in. I closed it in with an old tarp that I had kicking around, and you'll see a little bit more of how I did that momentarily. Now as we continue around the side, you'll see right here that there does not appear to be any warping or bowing or deformity occurring at this point with the structure. But this is where you begin to see the thing that I'm most surprised by, and that is the amount of snow still clinging to the roof. But we're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. While we're here, I want to show you how I enclosed the back end. What you see here is an old tarp that I centered up and then attached about at the peak. Then around the edges I folded in the excess tarp and screwed through some wooden blocks into the structure on the inside so that the screw heads wouldn't just tear through the tarp. The block you see in the center is screwed into where the two pieces cross, creating the cross brace in the back. The biggest function this is performing is to prevent the wind, which most frequently blows down the hill, from blowing through the shed, thus turning it into one giant kite. And here's where we get a really good view of just how much snow is sitting on the top of this thing. I can't say for sure, but I would venture to guess that that's somewhere in the neighborhood of about 9 or 10 inches. What's most surprising to me about that is that with as steep as that roof is, I don't have exact figures of what the pitch is, but with as steep as it is, I figured that the snow would slide off of it pretty readily. I'm pleased to see that it seems to be withstanding it quite well, and it doesn't appear to be a problem. I do hope, though, that when it starts raining and the snow gets heavy, that it slides off rather than just being heavy and sticking to the roof. Although we are only halfway through the season, there's plenty of time yet for calamity, and then there's springtime. But I'm going to have to go ahead and say, so far, so good. I'd like to send a very special thank you to my elite camera crew who made this video entirely possible, as well as all of them for that matter. Thank you so much for capturing this footage at such short notice for so little pay.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope that it answered most of your questions. If it did not, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I will get to them just as soon as I am able. I really appreciate you watching, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Take care.